the fact that we lived without shows, not as fans too. That was the worst.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right here or there or somewhere. There's a ton of exciting new releases, and one of them is from the colorful, blackened Gothic Greek band W.E.B, also known as Where Everything Begun. I think that their new album Colosseum will be their big breakthrough album, so I was really excited to sit down with Sakis and Hel Pyre of the band. Okay, so Hel Pyre and Sakis, thank you so much for your time today. When we're talking, we are about a week away from the release of Colosseum. New album, always a big deal, but more importantly, also the first album on Metal Blade. That is a big deal as well. How are you living up to the release so far?
Well, we are very excited, that's the truth. And we are also very eager to see the response on the album. It's, according to us, it's our best work so far. Yeah. And we love the material, and we really want the people who listen to it to love it as well.
What I love about you guys is that, you know, you bring a, let's call it a symphonic blackened Gothic metal, but it is an extreme metal, and whoever said that extreme metal cannot be colorful, because W.E.B is definitely a band that likes to embrace a lot of different things, not just from musical style, also from a visual style. And then, if I'm not mistaken, the vinyl is going to come out on fruit punch color as well. Is that just something that you as a band always agree on, that, hey, you know what, we don't want to live too much by stereotypes that are out there in extreme metal, and we're just going to do our own thing?
It's not that we think about it so much, like we don't have to be stereotypical, we have to be that way or this way. The band always used to be not that old school black metal style. It had many elements in their music, and it comes very natural to use atmospheric elements, death metal, symphonic. So it's a mix of various stuff, and it comes out audio and visually as well. Mm-hmm. The color of the vinyl is because of the artwork. It has this, not red exactly, it's a bit of a purple and mixed color. And we wanted a more unique color for the vinyl too. So yeah, fruit punch.
I think it's a fair statement that the band has been a bit of a revolving door since it started, and we've seen quite a few people come and go. Hel Pyre, in your case, you are a newer member of the band as well. How is that? Is that one of the explanations on how we've seen the sound of the band evolve? Let's not say drastically change every time that we hear something new from the band, but there is a clear evolution in how the sound has gone. Is that directly tied to the new members, Sakis, or you're obviously, you know, the long-lasting member of the band, but you always talk about a band, our band, not necessarily this is my project, and I bring in Hel Pyre as, you know, a hired gun to play some music for me. Is it the influence of new members that are changing this style, or what's the story there?
It's quite simple, actually. First of all, it's very, very difficult to create a team and create a team that works the way it should work. And this is the reason that there has been so many lineup changes. to be honest, personally, I never wanted it to be a personal project. I wanted a band. I wanted a group of people which we gather together. We have beers and drinks together. We have fun together. We play music together, and it always has an impact on how the band sounds, on the compositions and everything. So I'm 100% sure that the current lineup is the best lineup, and it has proven to be the best lineup the band ever had.
The music of W.E.B is now more epic, more symphonic than ever before. Are you guys right now already working on, like, what is the best way of, with just being 4 people, bringing that to life on stage? Or are you looking at, you know, additional support? Are you, I mean, when I listened to Colosseum, the first thing that I said, like, this album screams to be played live with a full orchestra. That might not be always possible, but is that something that you guys are working on right now? Like, hey, how do we bring this epic album to life now that shows are starting to come back?
What you are correct about Colosseum is that we wanted it to be a live album.
Right.
An album to be performed by us on stage. And since we now know more than ever how we operate on stage, I can assure you that all songs of the Colosseum are very, very close to what we sound live. And yes, we can do that, right?
Does that then also mean that the current lineup is really focused on that, or are you also taking this opportunity with having people like Hel Pyre on the lineup now, that you could reimagine or elevate earlier work to the quality of the current lineup? Is that something that you're looking at, or should the fans really expect you to heavily focus on the new material when you go out?
We have played lots of the previous songs with this lineup. I think we cover all the W.E.B era when we go live. And of course, we have to focus on this album with the next shows. Mm-hmm. But we will also look back at Tartarus and other albums, and it will be a mix of everything, their live shows.
Okay, cool. A part of live shows, obviously, also the visual aspect. You know, a band like W.E.B can bring a show, and visual art is clearly also very important to your band. That we can tell that from also your music videos that you make. There's a lot of elements and imagery in there. One of the recent videos that we've seen for Dark W.E.B, on the surface, which sounds like an aggressive, a misanthropic song almost, you know, against establishment. When you scratch the surface and you go dig a little deeper, you know, we see that a lot of it is also portrayed through the eyes of the elite, of the establishment, in keeping people down. Am I interpreting that correctly? What are all the key messages that you wanted to bring with that song? But also
you are going in a good way.
Good. You're on the right track.
Part of the inspiration for that song as well comes from, you know, the Dark W.E.B, obviously the title, you know, and some of the things that people think about when they think about that. I work in cybersecurity when, you know, I don't get the chance to talk to people like yourselves. So what is it about that world that draws you so much to that, that makes you so interested in it?
It seemed like a very, very extreme underground thing happening. Mm-hmm. And it's like it seemed like a common secret everybody could share. Right. There are rumors, there are truths, there are lies, there are myths, there's everything. So through the lyrics, I decided to combine all that with the chapter that speaks about the world's so-called elite. And there you have it.
Okay, awesome.
It goes down the road you tried to explain earlier.
Yeah. Which also, leads to the title of the album, Colosseum. At Colosseum, giving back in the day, giving people, bread and games, keeping people entertained and distracted to a certain sense as well. But giving people also the violence that they're secretly or not so secretly craving. Is that how we should interpret, what the band is bringing here? It's like we are very much out in the open, giving you what you're secretly are craving for, even if it's not necessarily good for you.
Exactly. We are turning a mirror towards society, with the hope that they see what the reality of their nature is.
Is there a dream or a hope amongst the band of potentially turning, making a live show much more visual, or even thinking about other visual art elements that could but that could elevate the music as well, or is this dreaming too far ahead?
It is a bit far ahead. We try to take it one step at a time right now, especially with the whole situation and 2 years of very, very hard times with music, everything. But now we're talking about music. We want to see that things start to get back to normal with live shows and touring. And we hope that next year will be a step closer to normality. So let's not look too far ahead, because that what you described would be amazing to happen. It's a big project. Also with an orchestra, it's also a big project. It will be great to have it on stage. But let's start with the live shows as we want them at the moment, and then we can see about that, of course. Yeah.
Looking back now at the last year and a half, that the band is at a level today that it may have not been if this forced break and this forced hard time, as you said, Hel Pyre, for the music industry, that didn't happen, that you were maybe had less time, more tour engagements. How do you feel about that?
I feel that this forced break was exactly a forced break. Like, we felt we could literally take off on 2020, but we had to stop. So we focused on these 2 years, we focused on creativity.
Exactly.
We focused on past mistakes. We focused on our future plans from now on. So right now we're trying to make it all happen. And we tried to use the liability of this break as an asset to our advantage. Let's see if we make it. And we are very, very fiery right now, and we are like sure we're gonna make it. Like there's no plan B for us.
Awesome. Well, I mean,
I don't think it was for any band all this time that we stopped. I don't think it was good for anyone. It was a really weird time. It was it made several bands stop, break up. Others try to work through it. The only good thing was, like Sakis said, to work on creativity, try to revisit the recorded material, elevate it, add more stuff, and to have more time to work on an album, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it. The fact that we lived without shows, not as fans too. That was the worst.
So we know that you guys have some shows planned. Obviously, we know that a lot of focus is going to be on the new material, that the band is completely ready to take on any new or old song in the best lineup that you've had since you started this band. To wrap us up, besides obviously this album coming out to all the fans and some of the videos that we've already seen, what are some of the elements that the fans need to keep their eyes open for? What should they expect coming at them in the next few months?
We will have another video clip for sure after the release. We are working on a tour, possibly in spring, to be a little bit closer than the other one, and also on festivals in the summer. All of these things will be announced in the next month around the holidays. So yeah, there will be many things coming up after the release.
Awesome.
We are working every day on every aspect we can come up with to promote the band and the album. So you can expect almost everything.
Sakis, Hel Pyre, I want to thank you so much for your time today. I know it's busy days, and I hope that you have a wonderful release of Colosseum in 8 days from now. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.